mother of three. I have three children, 9, 6, and 4. I formerly resided here in Jefferson City. I now live in Ashland, Missouri, just north of here. When my oldest was 4, I started doing research about our school district, and I learned that the district that we were in was in the bottom 10% according to APR statewide, and that less than 30% of the kids at the elementary school were proficient in language arts. That caused me much distress, and I felt like I didn't have any choices. With 3 kids, private school is upwards of $300,000, and my family didn't feel like they could commit to that at the time. So I did more research. I visited the school and said, I think we're going to try to make this work. I went to the school, I talked to the administration, and it just wasn't a very good fit. And I knew it in my heart, and I couldn't go forward. So on Easter weekend, when my son was 5, we packed up all of our things and moved to Ashland. And we felt that was our only choice. But I love public school. I was a public school kid. My kids now go to public school. It's been a great experience, but I hate that I felt like I didn't have any choices but to move. And worse than that, I hate that there are other parents who are in my position who are unsatisfied and feel like they're not getting a quality education and don't have the option to just pick up and move. So I'm here in support of charter school expansion and in giving parents more choices other than just moving your location. For me, it was a devastating move. Jefferson City is the only place I ever call home. It's where my job is, it's where I grew up, it's where my parents live, it's where my in-laws live, and so it was a tough choice to simply have to move your entire life simply because you don't have any educational choices. I also feel like, as we've talked today, and so I was a charter school supporter pre-pandemic, but I do believe that the pandemic has highlighted a lot of the advantages of charter schools. And I'll point out 2 specifically. First, we've heard before that charter schools are accountable to parents, not just DESE or the government, but also there's this parental accountability because parents choose to send their kids to that school. We also hear about charter schools being more flexible in their operations. And I think those 2 things have been highlighted in the pandemic. My sister teaches at a charter school out of state, and she stayed with us for quite a bit of time during the quarantine. And I watched her every day wake up at 7 and teach live from 8 to noon, and then check in with families all afternoon in that system. And I don't know of another public school who is doing that kind of work. And because the charter school has flexibility in their operations and they have that extra accountability to parents, she's showing up every day and teaching live. And I think there's something much different between online programs that are kind of given out to everybody and just these standard online programs and games and worksheets versus actual live instruction by the teacher that your kids were going to have in school. And so I think that is why I support choice in Missouri, and I encourage you to give parents in Missouri the same choices that parents in other states have.
Thank you.
Yeah, what you're saying is very true. I mean, if you are rich, you have school choice today. But if you're middle class and you have 4 kids, it's not a real option. And if you're poor, it's not an option. Sometimes you don't have you have no other choice but to send your kid to a school that you think is subpar.
Yes, you're exactly right, and I feel fortunate that it wasn't an easy decision for us, but I feel fortunate that we had that option. It weighs on me that other people don't have that same option.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, thank you very much for testifying. Next witness.